Hello?
Hi.
Hey there. Alright, I'm sorry, just give me a second. I'm getting a bad connection. Just give me a second. Hey there.
You're very quiet on my end. Let's see what I can do.
Okay, is this better?
I may also turn you up a bit. Can you say something?
Hello.
Yeah, I think I can hear it.
So, you good?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, first off, how is it that how the heck do we say your name? The Bigslman or Bigslman or something like that?
I say Bigslman.
Bigslman, okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into it, let me just tell you, it is an honor to actually speak to you right now. You've been an inspiration to me for years.
Oh, I have?
Yeah, huge.
It's very interesting to me because I'm not the first one to tell me this. But
Really?
I'm just a fucking loser uploading music videos.
Well, that's what we're going to get into right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're not a loser though.
Yeah. Okay, thank you anyway.
So, okay, so this video is basically about the evolution of music and Fallout and stuff. And since you're well, you're pretty much obviously an expert on that. So, I figured I'd talk to you about it.
Yeah, figures.
So I have, I guess, a little interview of information that I'm going to put in at the end of the video. So I got a couple of questions here that just feel free to go on and like ramble and stuff if you want to. Like I mean,
sure.
It's like I have like unlimited amounts of time.
Yeah, it's just quick thing. If you hear like popping, cracking, or explosions in the background, it's New Year's Eve. Like people are already like going at it. So
What for New Year's?
Yeah.
Okay. So like what? You're not in the Great War or anything? Okay.
No. It's just like it's 11 a.m. here, and it's been going on for like 2 days. People are already like popping fireworks.
So the first thing is well, actually, before we get into it, I've been wondering for a while as well. Where are you in the world? Like, are you in Germany or something?
I'm German. I live in the south of Germany. I don't know if there's any city like people in America would know. Like the big city in near where I live is Freiburg, which is south of like Stuttgart, which is basically the city where like Mercedes and stuff comes from. Like the like automotive industrial heartland of Europe. That's where I'm from.
Is that near Brunswick?
I have no idea. I don't know where Brunswick is.
That's like in the literal heart of Germany.
Let's have a look. Oh no, it's not in the heart. It's like in the. I'm very close. I can bike to the French border.
Oh, okay.
I'm very close to both the Swiss and the French border. Like right up there in the lower left corner.
Okay. All right. So first off, just for soundbite sakes, just say, "Hey there, Porter."
Hey there, Porter.
Yeah, like that. All right. So I'll just get into it now. So, Bigslman, what is your overall view of the Fallout music that you put out on your channel?
What do you mean? Like what do I think of the music, or why do I do it in like a Fallout style? What is the angle you want me to tackle?
I mean, it's what do you think of so like the music that you put out, why is it that you do it?
Originally, I started uploading. Is like if you go to the first videos I uploaded, it was just like the music that was in Fallout 3. And I uploaded that because I was really into the game, and I think the music, or the radio at least, was one of the most... because the first time I played Fallout 3, I actually didn't really like it. Like I played it for like a couple of hours, went around like aimlessly, didn't really get into the story, like didn't really listen to anything because like, to be honest, like the real life circumstances were kind of weird because I was like being asked constantly stuff. So I didn't really concentrate on the game. just walked around, not a good experience. And then the second time I gave it a chance because I paid $60 for this. I I for the first time listened, and then I put on the radio. Like the first thing I noticed, I remember was like the vault radio, like where you have like some very low key like jazz tunes.
Oh, that crappy jazz,
yeah, really crappy like play jazz. It was interesting to me. Then when you come out, you get the like Galaxy News radio.
Yeah,
it's the first immediately like noticeably different thing about the game. I mean, like, okay, all this 50s stuff only really gets into your face if you play the game for a while, because back in Fallout 3, they actually did it kind of low-key still, and not compared to Fallout 4. But the music was, like, the thing that really, like, captured it, and especially, I think, the soundtrack they picked fit the game very well, because it's not the upbeat kind of, like, Buddy Holly 50s music most people know.
Yeah.
It's like 30s and 40s tunes mostly. So like you almost get like the Great Depression vibes from it. Like it's not very upbeat music. I mean, there are a couple of upbeat tracks like Danny Kaye and stuff, but like mostly it's very very melancholic music, and that fit the game really well. And I got into it because I didn't really. I mean, I didn't have anything against old music. There were always a couple of tracks I liked. I liked Louis Armstrong and Billie Holiday because my dad was into them, but nothing in particular. And then I heard music in that game, and I think many people have that experience where I really got into the music through the game. And first off, you start off with the music that is there and with the artists that are represented in the game. And I wanted to share that, and I don't even really know why, because the uploads were there. It's not like I was the first one to upload Anything Goes with a Fallout picture or something.
Yeah.
But kind of there was this willingness to share the music that I enjoyed or talk about it in some way. And after time, because of course at some point you have uploaded every song that's in the base game. I think I've uploaded every song that's in the base game if it isn't like restricted or something. Should be there, all of it. And then you have this like empty space between Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and I kind of wanted to upload music still. So I went to BioShock music, and after that I just started uploading my own songs that I think would fit the game.
Yeah. And they do. They pretty much all fit the games really well.
Yeah, that's my criteria. I'm very like my brother is kind of involved in like the way I pick out the songs, and he says I'm like stupidly like narrow-minded about them. Like I will think about which song to pick for a while, and I've made like a dozen videos that I have never uploaded because I don't think this part of the song fits Fallout. Then I would upload it. Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's nice.
That's the basic process.
Okay. Well, it's like, that's the thing. Sorry, I didn't write this next question.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to like.
Don't hurry.
I wrote this next question down, but it's like kind of weird the way I said it, so I'm trying to rephrase it.
Yeah.
Do you think that this music would still be as good and like able to be picked up by other people like you and stuff? If it was more stuff like from the later decades, like the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Here's the thing, I don't really know, because there's one thing like people like 70s, 60s, at least 70s and 80s music. It's like a lot more prevalent in popular culture. Also because like the music industry was just way bigger around those times and stuff. So if you had like I don't know, Creedence Clearwater Revival playing, or I don't know, Simon and Garfunkel, could work. I don't know if they changed the theme of the game around. Might also be more popular. I don't know. I just think for me personally it wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, it's also there's like this inherent like connection between like oh, we have this like atomic post-apocalypse, very with a very strange sense of humor and stuff. And then we also fit it with like the 1950s retro futurism that's in the game. It's like a logical connection because like it's all connected to like the same theme and era and stuff. But I guess you could make a game that's more like, you know, like Vietnam era themed.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of doing that in a way now. I mean, we have like what's his name, John Denver in the newest one,
Yeah,
and like and
yeah.
stuff going into like hippie era. Like they talk about hippies and stuff, and so maybe they're moving in the direction. I think it's only like in 2 Fallout games we're gonna have Fortunate Son playing in the game.
Yeah, that's something I want to ask you about as well as in this interview. The whole controversy surrounding country roads and more like 70s music where like it's like way past the musical cutoff point. What's your take on it?
Yeah, you can notice I haven't uploaded the song.
Yeah.
In any version because I don't think it fits the game in any way. I mean, I've uploaded music that's from later eras, right? I think I've uploaded songs from the 70s, but they sound old because that's the important thing. You can upload a song from like the 80s if it sounds like it was made in the 50s.
Yeah, like that's what they
problem
did. That's what they did, like with Gerhard's trade songs in the '90s, like in Fallout 3, like Gerhard trade. I don't know. I think I'm probably
God, 3D, like the fucking. I forget the name, but I know what you mean. Like the instrumental pieces. A lot of them are older, but it's not a problem if they sound old. If they sound like they fit, and that's always the barometer you have to use. Like, does it sound right? Not you don't have to look at a date. Like I don't look at no song after December 31st, 1959. That's just not how you have to go about it. But it has to sound right. And John Denver, or like it's not John Denver in the actual
Copilot
version
or Spank Live, whatever they call him.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't fit. It sounds just 2 eras too late or 2 eras further ahead. And I guess this is kind of what they're going for because like now we've moved from moved to color TV with like the Vault Boy skits. And there's like they also try to introduce more cultural stuff because Bethesda doesn't really care about narrative coherence and stuff
anymore.
So anymore. So, just for the record, I haven't played Fallout 76. Wasn't interested.
You're not missing much.
Huh?
You're not missing much. I can tell you. That.
I've heard like a friend of mine who's actually a studied game designer has played it, and he said it's the worst game he's ever played. Like he can't believe that they actually put this out.
Yeah. Well, I will say with that. Okay, if you haven't heard of that as well, they put another song like that's like just I think like worse than Country Roads because it not only is like from like another era, it as well it kind of spits in the face of players because of the absolute irony of it. They put in "Wouldn't It Be Nice" by the Beach Boys playing.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's a good song, but you know, putting stuff like that in Fallout, you know,
like Beach Boys is like quintessential '60s band.
Yeah.
In a way, that's like really like key '60s sounds. I mean, that's the music they put into like a Team Fortress trailer. I don't know. Bethesda is kind of If I really feel like Bethesda doesn't care about the original vision of the games anymore. They were trying to still be true to it in Fallout 3. Fallout 4 did a lot of bending, and now they're kind of just abandoning it for like the sake of like it being popular or something.
Yeah, I mean like if there was to be any song by the Beach Boys, it would be like there'd be only be one, "I Get Around," which at that point it's really stretching it. But you know,
yeah, sure. I mean, again, if it sounds right, it's just to me. If I think Beach Boys, I think like late '60s music.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah,
just from their like bubbly sound and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that leads us to my next question is of like um, well, what is your favorite artist or song that from this entire Fallout era?
You mean like the era in general, or just the music in the games?
Era in general. Like it doesn't have to be, but it can be if you want to be in the games and such.
That's different. I think artist is relatively easy to answer for me. Would be Bob Crosby. Like pretty much was from the beginning, just because I think he's such an interesting artist. I mean,
Yeah,
because most of the time, like I've had this so many times, people don't even realize like Bob Crosby and Bing Crosby are like related.
yeah,
Like they are. Bob Crosby is like his little brother, and
yeah,
I think Bob Crosby as a character, first of all, is kind of interesting because he wasn't really like just a singer. He kind of like a band leader, a general entertainer who had like a late night show and stuff. So first of all, like kind of an interesting person. And the other thing is, he's like I always say, like he isn't even technically on a technical level that good of a singer,
yeah,
because in a lot of songs you hear like his voice crack.
yeah. And
I
like,
think that quality, like normally that's maybe that's the thing that turns people off about him, but I think like it adds such like this melancholic quality that like the music has, like even his voice breaks in the
yeah,
song. And you have it in one point in Way Back Home, and I've
yeah,
actually another channel that it's kind of like nobody knows. It's my channel. I've uploaded I think two complete albums of his,
yeah.
and especially in like this, like, I uploaded like his big band series from 1936 or something.
I think
There's
I
like a
have
lot of
that.
songs.
I think I have that.
Yeah, with the blue cover where like the whole like the whole band stands like on like a stepping podium.
Well, I mean, like they're all the 78s are in empty sleeves, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
in the case. But it's like I think it's all the
Yeah.
songs in the album.
Yeah, and especially on that album, it's like the album where you have "I'm Coming Virginia's" on there and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, and that album, like, there's a lot of times like his voice is way more rough than with
yeah,
like Bob Crosby and the Bobcats, and I just love the quality of that. And I think it's a shame that they never used any music from that album
yeah.
in any of the games.
And as well
I
as
think I,
like
yeah,
it's just as well as like with that Bing Crosby, like sorry, not Bing, Bob Crosby. I don't think many know this or that I like that. It's really hard to actually find. Like we haven't actually found any. Like what I'm trying to say is like it's really
hmm
hard to even find much by Bob Crosby and the Bobcats
yeah.
to begin with. Like
It's very strange. I wonder how he even got into the like Fallout 3, not the first
yeah,
one,
like how
the
the
first game.
hell did
Because
they even
how
find
did
that
they come
stuff?
up with him? Because I
Yeah,
remember back then, because like he was the very like the artist I was very interested in, and I remember in 2009, like early 2009, when I really got into Fallout 3, like googling him and trying to find more music of his,
yeah,
like couldn't. Like I found this one CD, as I said, like his recording from 1936 with like his big band, and like I think I paid like 40 euros for like the CD or something
oh
because I just
wow,
wanted more music of his that you couldn't find online. I don't know, and like even the like, information on Wikipedia was very scarce. I guess there's like renewed interest in him now, like 10 years later, after he has been like in a couple of Fallout games. But
yeah,
in general, like nobody, like even if you look at like the songs I've uploaded of him that aren't in Fallout games, they get like 2,000 views compared to like several million on like Dear Hearts and
yeah.
Gentle People way back home.
Yeah, that's one like I've seen like with Dear Hearts and Gentle People. I can't find anything having to do like any proof that Bob Crosby and the Bobcats did it, other than if you were to listen to it. Like you can't find
Yeah,
any like kept like information recorded logs by any labels or anything pointing to it or anything. It just
yeah.
yeah
It's just really weird with him, I feel.
yeah. Like just different artists like that. It's like you also got like really obscure people like Roy Brown never had a single hit or anything, but how the heck did they find him?
You mean Roy Brown?
Yeah, Roy Brown, Mighty Mighty Man.
Yeah, he's the hands down. I mean, I haven't listened to Fallout 76 soundtrack incomplete, but he's like the strangest artist they have in the games.
Yeah.
Like also the songs they picked. I mean,
Yeah.
it just has to have been like this one guy in like the Bethesda offices who thinks like the songs are funny. Like,
yeah. Like
he's this
he's
fucking
hacking,
guy
whacking,
in the
sacking.
30s and 40s who thinks about like rape and murder. I don't
Like,
know.
yeah, it's like, is it rape and murder, or is it just like murder all around?
And they always talk about like fucking the Beatles, like Helter Skelter was like the most hardcore song at that time. No. Roy Brown came before.
Yeah. And Rocket 69, that one was, well, not Rocket 69, the other one, the one that's like as raunchy as the name sounds, what's it called, 60 Minute Men. That one's like,
Yeah.
like, that one was banned everywhere upon release. Like,
I mean, black artists back then really went all out.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bob Crosby like probably be the most interesting or my favorite artist in the games, or like I can't say really in general because like there's rarely the point where I like the entire discography of like any particular artist from that time just because artists of that time did so much stuff. Like they did so much music and stuff. Also think before I forget, like with the Bob Crosby point.
Yeah.
Maybe because you can find a lot of like his music because I think he performed a lot of his music on TV.
Yeah.
That might be a reason why there are songs of him out there that you can't find any stuff from because like they performed it once on TV and that was it.
Yeah, like I go up onto Discogs, and I search him all the time, and all I get is about 29 different records total of him, like including albums and stuff, not just the 78s. Just
Yeah, I think but some of the artists I return to a lot is like obviously the Ink Spots.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just generally good music you can listen to a lot because like every song sounds the same but not quite.
I hate when people say that. I'm sorry.
I know it's not entirely true, but a lot of them like have a similar sound. I know there's like completely different sounds from some songs that sound completely different, but I think a lot of them do really sound similar.
Yeah.
What's your point about it?
But it's like, okay, me, like, I love the Ink Spots, like, if they were a child. And I know there's this another guy, too, that, named Austin Casey. You know him.
Yeah.
He's like the freaking god of ink spottery. Like, he,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the one who created that word as well, ink spottery. But,
Really?
but, but yeah, like, he's like, has every upload from every group ever, and every radio broadcast, everything from the Ink Spots.
Yeah, he has Bill Kenny's ashes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, he should write his own book on him. Like, I know, like, there's a couple of books about the Ink Spots, but he should write his own. He knows so much stuff about him. Another question is, do you think the radios and the soundtracks, stuff like that, like the way that Fallout, Bioshock, and Mafia, like, do you think that those will, like, that type of soundtrack thing will ever go away from gaming now that it's been introduced?
I mean, in a way, it kind of it already has kind of gone away. I feel like because like look at the series that were very prevalent. Like I really got heavily into gaming around like 2008 to 2012. Like that was the time I gamed a lot, and also in my opinion, like the best time gaming ever had because we reached a point in graphics where like cinematic storytelling was actually possible. But it still hadn't reached a point where it was just everything. So that was the time where like the Bioshock, I know Bioshock, the first one came out a bit earlier, but that's when I played it on PS3. Bioshock came out, we had Fallout New Vegas, we had Mafia 2, A lot of those games, and you just look at those series. BioShock went back in time to BioShock Infinite and had like a completely custom soundtrack.
Yeah.
Then we had Fallout. I mean, Fallout kind of kept it, but it's kind of moving away from it, and it's also moving away from like its original sound of 30s and 40s music to more like 50s and 60s music, like the teen bopper music and stuff.
Yeah.
And Mafia went up to the 70s and completely ditched the old kind of soundtracks. So I don't see. Maybe I'm just not into gaming enough anymore, but I don't see the prevalence of like vintage 40s 50s games with those kind of soundtracks anymore.
Yeah.
So in a way, I think it's still a thing people want, because there's this subset of people like me and probably you who are really into this stuff, who love games set in that era. And I have to say, like the Mafia 2 part at the beginning on Christmas, kind of like always sets the mood. If you're not feeling Christmassy, just play that part.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of Mafia 2 is like incredible. And at BioShock, of course, like it's always interesting and amazing if you play it again, and also amazing soundtrack use. But
the way, like the thing with BioShock, like the way that they have everything, like how like in BioShock 1, like nearly the entire point in the game, like if I didn't care about the ink spots, it's used like Jeepers Creepers, like such like a, or like they use it like in so many different double meanings and such in there. It's used so often.
It's also like a BioShock is like hands down has better sound design than any movie in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But like I always say, I back then I thought this, and I still think it like 10 years later. BioShock should be regarded, and I don't know if it kind of is regarded that way, but I don't think so, because most people don't get into like the deeper stuff with BioShock. BioShock should be regarded as highly as like high literature for video games.
Definitely.
Yeah, because if you look like Catcher in the Rye for books, that BioShock should be that kind of thing for video games. And the problem is, it's people can't really get past, like a lot of people, but it's a shooter game, you shoot people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one part of it, but it's also amazing sound design, amazing storytelling, and also amazing, interesting like philosophy and like ideas behind it.
Would you kindly?
Like, we have a game that discusses objectivism, utilitarianism, philosophy, and political theory in 2006, and it's a shooter game. I think it doesn't get the credit it deserves for what it actually does.
It does not.
That's also why I thought BioShock Infinite, which everybody liked, was a huge step back. Still a good game, but a huge step back. Because it didn't discuss politics or philosophy. It didn't even really discuss religion. It was just way too much up its own ass with like talking about quantum theory or something that I think they don't even really get in the game.
And good God, what they did to the music. Like
I mean,
like,
it was kind of interesting, and I think I would.
It was interesting, to be fair.
I would, Sorry.
To be fair, yes, it was interesting, but you know.
Yeah, and I think I would have kept some of those songs, right? Just because it's like a very interesting and very story-fitting element. But also, I mean, was there any actual old song aside from "You're a Grand Old Rag"? Was there any old song in there?
I think there was "Ain't We Got Fun," and then the Bonnie Blue Flag, which was like a Civil War era song. Like one of the ones that you found on the old Cylinder recordings.
Yeah, and I think really missed opportunity, because that's such an interesting era of music. Like the early stars of recording history. You featured those guys, and I think Bill Murray, which is like the most ironic name ever today, but like Bill Murray has a lot of those kind of songs.
Yeah, I have a couple of his on my channel already.
Yeah, I mean, I think missed opportunity, but in general. Get back to your point. Or get back to my point. To your question.
Yeah.
I think it's going away in a way. I don't know if it's coming back. I don't know if there will be like this huge revival where we get like 3 to 5 games like set in that era again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping for it, because like I don't know if you have heard of We Happy Few.
Yeah, I've heard of the game, but I've not like really gotten into it.
I haven't played it, and I haven't also really gotten into it because like it had a really weird development history. But I was kind of hoping for it was set in the '60s, and I was hoping for more like what do you call it, like period piece games or something coming out of that. If it would have been like very successful, but we didn't. It wasn't.
I mean, like, I heard about it as like, oh, so it's a game where, like, people try to force you to be happy. Sounds like YouTube's algorithm. No thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you want to watch Jake Paul?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Even though that he and his brother, like, did horrible stuff to people? Yeah.
Yeah.
This site's going off the deep end. But that's a different wormhole that we shouldn't open.
Yeah. Yeah, basic thoughts. I just replay old games at this point. I play only one game at the moment, or like for the last 2.5 years, I play just one game because
What game?
Story games just don't. There's no story game coming out that really interests me. So I don't know. Even Fallout 7, like Fallout 4, I think was like kind of the last straw. I really didn't like Fallout 4.
I mean, okay, well, the music is a saving grace for Fallout 4.
I don't even like the entire soundtrack of Fallout 4. I think there's like a lot of good music. I really hate the idea that they put the Fallout 3 music back in.
Yeah, that I did not agree with. Like, that's just like cheap.
Yeah, I think it should have its completely, original soundtrack, or like original licensed soundtrack, whatever you would call it, and stand on its own, because it's always kind of a highlight for me. Like that's the thing you do before the game comes out. Is there any song I can find that they already leaked somewhere?
Yeah. Some guy, like a couple of guys already did that for 76. Like that Whip Blue guy, he like found every single song that was going to be in there like 2 months before the beta even came out.
Yeah, I remember I had one that was my highlight moment. I had one for the BioShock Infinite DLC, like the last one.
Yeah.
Where I heard it was some kind of Patsy Cline song, where I heard where Ken Levine did an interview, and he talked about like sound or something, or like the story in the new DLC, and he talked about that Patsy Cline song.
Yeah.
And so I had it before anyone did. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, and like there's this one guy, I'm not sure if you've heard of him, Civil Defense Spot. He ended up like posted like this genre of music called Atomic Platters, which is just
the guy who uploaded the Conrad music.
Yeah, like Atom Bomb Baby and stuff. 4 years before Fallout 4 came out, and then everyone was freaking out. Like, how do you know these songs were in the games and such?
I mean, it was on my channel too, just with the Atom Bomb Baby stuff.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I changed the title, and everybody thinks it's magic.
Yeah. Heck, I think I've done that like once or twice, on purpose or on accident.
I mean, I did it on purpose. It's kind of like this is the song, and people will want to find it. So I'll help them out.
Yeah. Like that's something that I had a lot of fun with from the lead up to Fallout 76. Like I had that series of trying to like 10 or so songs each video, guessing for if these songs will be in Fallout 76. That was a lot of fun.
You remember I really liked the videos.
Yeah, and I wanted to keep them going, but turns out that another thing Bethesda lied to us about was how big the musical soundtrack was going to be.
How big was it in the end?
I think only about like 3 or more songs in Diamond City Radio. But like they said that they said during QuakeCon, we're going to have a lot more music than we've ever had in any Fallout game combined.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking when I heard that too. My thoughts were, okay, so you're gonna put in the music from Fallout 3, from Fallout 4, and then 2 original new songs.
Yeah, I mean they did. Yeah, yeah.
Because Fallout New Vegas doesn't count as an official Fallout game for Bethesda.
I don't like. I'm like in this video. I'm going to be covering New Vegas, but like Dear God, what? Why would like all the songs they did some weird thing to it where like they sound like that they're being played live in some strip club or something. Like all the songs, just like the way the audio is formatted.
Yeah, I get that a lot, especially on my Ain't That a Kick in the Head video.
Yeah.
And people are like, this isn't the same version as in the main game.
Well, yeah, because like that version actually like is actually good, you know. Like
Yeah.
and like I think even Austin like came out. I think Austin he commented at one point like saying something about like on the someone like did the actual version of It's a Sin to Tell a Lie that did just absolutely butchered. I don't know what they did to it. He even like said, "No, I don't even like this," and he's like a huge Inkspot fan.
To be fair though, I really I still enjoy the soundtrack from Fallout New Vegas, even in its
Yeah.
current version. I think it's because it's, I mean, in a way, it's fitting, you know. I don't like every song. I think like Todd Howard talked once about how he picks out the songs for the radio, and he said like he listens to them like for months on end, and if he gets tired of a song, he throws them out. And I think that kind of shows because most of the songs in both the Fallout 3 and 4 soundtrack are very listenable.
Yeah.
Like there's very few exceptions, I think, where the song gets really annoying after a while.
Yeah,
But
like
New Vegas,
like don't they know it's the end of
Yeah.
the world? But yeah, that nonetheless ruined like because it's just such an annoying song.
especially because I uploaded the different version of that song way back when like the Fallout 5 hoax thing was going around.
Oh my God,
And-
the Survivor 2299.
Yeah, and that version is so much better.
Yeah, like it's so creepy and stuff as well. But like one thing that I will say good about him though is, you probably don't know this, but like, 2 days before the release of the trailer, the official trailer for Fallout 4, his website came back and said with a countdown, and the countdown stopped at the exact second that the Fallout, like the actual Bethesda Fallout 4 trailer released.
Oh, I think actually I've heard about it, but totally forgot. Yeah, stimmt.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah, but what I want to say, yeah, in the actual Fallout Bethesda Fallout games, you notice this, but with the development time they had with Fallout New Vegas, right, and with the, I guess they probably had different priorities than the radio when they developed that game.
Definitely. I mean, you only
There
got
are
2
a
years.
lot of songs, like at least like a handful, that are just so annoying after a
Yeah.
while, like Johnny Guitar.
Johnny Guitar.
Do I have to say more? Like,
No. And why
barely tolerable one time.
why did they program it to like? I get. Yes, it's based off of a karma system, but you don't have to have that song like play literally 10 times an hour.
Actually, also, I don't know if you've heard this. There's like a bug or something that actually plays Johnny Guitar a lot more than any other song.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's not just Johnny Guitar. There's like a couple songs like that are very hard to listen to after a while. There's like one instrumental piece I forget,
That Happy Times.
and yeah, maybe. And then there's this. I think this is borderline, but still kind of goes into that direction. This is "Why Don't You Do Right." I forget
Not You
who
Do
sang
Right.
it.
Not Pat Decline. Like the professor like had a video of it. What's his name? Music Prof 78.
It's by Peggy Lee.
Peggy Lee, yeah.
Yeah. This song, I think it's borderline. If you just listen to it on its own, it's good. But if you hear it too much, like this whiny, very like it sounds like it needs to be in a cheap detective noir film or something.
Yeah.
And just if you hear it too often, it gets on my nerves.
And
But yeah, the game has a couple of these songs. And also a very weird like radio design in general with like you have 3 different radios. You have Radio New Vegas with like moderation, which is very, very boring. moderation or hosting by Mr. New Vegas. I think the idea of him was interesting, but like the execution was kind of boring. Then you have Mojave Radio, which I've always thought is the same as Radio New Vegas, just without any host, but it isn't. There are just a couple of songs missing.
Yeah.
And then you have Black Mountain Radio, which actually has a couple of different songs, like radio songs, like country songs.
I'm going under.
But it has a restricted radius, so you can only listen to it if you run around this like central, the mountain in the game.
Yeah.
Which kind of like how many times are you gonna hang out there, aside from when you like first play the game and like walk around it?
Yeah, it's like I think like the first time I heard it, was like it was hilarious because like it sounded like that they're. Like that, like I didn't realize they were super mutants the first time that and robots and stuff the first time I heard them. So like I thought that they're like on the verge of killing each other instead of Raoul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also have this like the mysterious broadcast, which is like the radio they add with Old World Blues, which also has like 4 new songs which are just instrumental pieces.
Yeah, like that was a missed opportunity.
What is the radio design in this game? I don't know.
Yeah. And then like with other games like Fallout 3, there's everybody's favorite song, the one that everybody knows. Danny Kaye in the end just to Civilization.
Yeah, interesting. When I first played the game, it was probably my favorite song because it. But nowadays, like I don't know when I've listened to this song the last time. It has to have been like 2 years or something.
Yeah, like like whenever I first heard it, like I hated it. Like for like the first 5 or 6 months because it was played so much. I hated it so much because it was like the Johnny guitar of Fallout 3. And then I loved Anything Goes because it was so rare.
I really liked Civilization because I think I know why. I think it's because it's so silly and so upbeat.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the most like all these songs don't really fit. Even if they're melancholic songs, they're still like jazzy 50s, 40s, 30s songs, right? And like Danny Kaye just hands it up in this fucking song, and it's so weird if you're fucking killing fucking guys with like machetes in their hands.
Yeah,
in like a rundown supermarket with it.
Yeah, just killing literally everything in sight just to the song. It just makes everything seem okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another thing too is like, what do you think of like there's other people out there who have obviously there's other people out there who have done amazing stuff like because they were inspired by the music from this from Fallout and other games like Atomic Wolf, like that guy who's like now even doing his own radio show. He knows like he has an app called Atomic Radio, just off of different Fallout songs and stuff. Just
really?
people like that.
I've never heard of it. I mean, I know the like 24/7 of all Fallout radio music live stream things.
No, like this is an actual app, and it has way more than any of those songs.
Oh, he actually hosts this? Oh.
Yeah, like and he's like well, no, he not himself, but he got Shoddycast to do it. Like, sometimes.
The guy from the like Fallout lore series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting, cool. I mean, I feel like I'm out of the loop because I'm not into the Fallout YouTube series. The Fallout YouTube.
It's okay.
Series.
It's okay.
I know you. I know Austin Casey. And I know this guy, like the people mention in my comments. I know MXR, this like sleazy, perverted mod reviewer that uses my music and doesn't credit me, the fucking asshole.
And then there's like this other guy, Rapture Records. He just has like he just collected every one of his songs, like every one of the songs from like Fallout, Bioshock Mafia, etc., and just like just not only just makes videos and playing it on his player. He also has like a website where it has like every single detail you'd ever want to know about every of all the songs there.
I mean, it's very cool.
Yeah, and he's found the songs that like we can't even find. Like he found like a jazzy interlude, and he found Boogeyman. I don't know how, but he found him.
I mean, I'm on his channel, but he does do like a mistake. I feel like I mean, is this him? Raptor Records? Yeah.
Yeah.
He just uploads the pictures of like, and you do the same. You just upload the picture of like the Decca vinyl thing.
Yeah.
Nobody clicks that. Like I click that, but nobody will click that. That's
Well, I mean,
why
like-
it has 24 views.
Well, I mean, like Music Prof, he does that, and like and CDPDDX, that other guy, they do it, but that's where I got it from.
Okay. I mean, I see it a lot. It's kind of like a treasure trove if you know what you're looking for. But
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Not very YouTube clickable. Not very friendly to the algorithm.
Yeah, especially when you only have 3 chances to get it right. Like whenever I'm recording, it's like you have 3 thumbnail spaces usually. So like I just have to time it perfectly and hope that I got it in one of the first 3 things, so I can actually use it, or I'll have to re-record it over. But no, I shouldn't be. No, we should not be talking about me. This is about you right now. Yeah, 'cause you're the cool guy here.
Amazingly cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll move on to the next question. Yeah, I forgot what we were
Sure.
even talking about. We got on such a tangent.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I know you, so like as like because like we know so much about this field, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the last question is yeah, and don't worry, I'm just either going to cut I cut a lot of this stuff out, like, or I'm just going and like post it like put a link to like if you want to see the full thing here, go ahead in the description below.
Yeah.
Like the last question I'd have to say is like for other people trying to do stuff like you, like in the, with the Fallout music stuff, what advice would you have? Oh, you muted yourself.
Yeah, someone came in.
Oh, it's okay. What advice would you have to? What advice would you give people who are trying to do the Fallout music type of YouTube stuff now?
I mean, one thing I've noticed, like if people, YouTube isn't really like a competitive space anymore, you know. That means if you do like even if you upload good videos, it's really hard to get views nowadays. But music it doesn't really count. I feel like because it's like a combination of the thumbnail and the title and like what tags you enter. So I would recommend look for that. Make the thumbnail attractive, make the title attractive, which means in my case, and I've actually tested this, write everything with a capital letter. It just looks more attractive. It's like a very, very specific recommendation, but it's one thing I've noticed. I've done this from the beginning just because I thought it looked nicer, and I've tried uploading the same song, one without capitalization and one with. And the one that get capitalized at the beginning look better and get more views.
Okay.
That's one thing. Aside from that, just like don't upload everything. Like I haven't uploaded nearly every song from Fallout New Vegas. Just upload the music you think fits, and then do your own kind of. I mean, I can recommend just copy what I do. Like just find fan art and put some effort into like how you design the video, because I think that's what people like. I I mean, you can get music from anywhere. They can listen to this music on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever if they want. But just add a certain flair to it if you want a lot of views. But because just uploading like a recording of music is very nice, and I think that's cool if people do that. But if you want people to click it or have it be interesting, put some effort into the design of the video and the effects and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing that I can say as well. Put a ton of effort into stuff. Like, yeah, the second that you stop putting effort into it is the second that everything goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have sage advice because it's kind of has been learned by doing for me too. I mean, I started off with just Movie Maker edits, like I just put the standard Movie Maker effect on everything. Then I graduated to Sony Vegas and used the standard effect from Sony Vegas, and now I do custom effects.
That's what I do. I do like all of my like videos that aren't like just records and stuff. All of my other stuff, like the one that this is going to be in, that's just all in Movie Maker.
Yeah, I used Movie Maker for like 2 years when I started the channel, and then I got Sony Vegas, and now I just use that. I have my own presets, so I can do my videos relatively quickly with just some little tweaking, and I think it looks pretty good because I always try to emulate like the style of because I really liked it. I tried with my videos. I try to emulate the style of like the ending slides from Fallout New Vegas. Know what I mean? When they have like this projector thing going on.
Yeah, like where it's all like shaky and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I try to do, like the kind of the shaky, grainy, and then nowadays with like color, because I think it looks really interesting if you have like distorted like colors, like badly developed film or something. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I try to do. But I guess you have to find your own style. I think there's many ways to do it. I also think I've seen videos where people like do like a vault terminal or something where they put in the music with like an audio spectrum or something. And it's like many different things you can do. But in the end, if you're not good with video editing, just put up the song because it's better than nothing.
Yeah. Well, man, I have no other questions here written down, and I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
Well, it was very fun talking to you. I mean, unless there's something else that you want to say of any point that we discussed or otherwise.
No, not really.
Okay.
Maybe I should address this in a semi-public forum.
Yeah.
Because people still ask like about the radio mod.
The radio what?
I don't know if you know, but I announced the radio mod. I wanted to do a custom radio mod for Fallout 4 like 2 or 3 years ago. I announced that in like one of my update videos.
You can announce it here. I'll happily put it in for you.
No, the thing is, I think I have to unannounce it. I announced like 2 years ago. I announced that I was going to do a radio mod, and it totally fell through. Like I couldn't find a modder. I'm not good at modding, and I don't have the time to learn modding. And I actually recorded like narrations for it because I wasn't entirely happy with Diamond City Radio, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna do my own radio, like the Bigslman radio mod, but kind of fell through. So maybe I'm still thinking about like just uploading it as like a long YouTube video, like not like a 15-minute YouTube video where I've put the narrations in and stuff. But we'll have to see. Because I also have a new mic now, so maybe I need to re-record on all the narrations and stuff, so they sound better. But yeah, that's my quick plug at the end.
And you can plug all you want, man.
I have nothing to plug aside from that. I have other YouTube channels, but they're all either I like having them I don't know, secret, hidden, I don't know, or they're German, so nobody cares.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're Germans. We don't care about the freaking Germans.
Yeah, if you don't speak German, I guess I don't want you as my viewer.
Like the only word.
Actually, I actually have an English channel that I haven't uploaded in like 3 years or something. So wouldn't plug it.
Is it like what? What's it called? Is that like uh, I don't know the name of that. I thought I knew the name of it. Never mind.
Never mind.
Or tell, yeah, just if you want to tell the name.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Maybe I'll plug it myself if I ever feel the need that I need to advertise it again.
And don't worry about becoming like a friggin' Jake Paul of plugging or anything. Yeah,
No,
you're
no.
you're not anywhere near that. Don't worry.
No, I just don't want people to subscribe to a channel that isn't active. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's my 2 cents at the end.
Okay. Well, it has been fun talking to you, man. Yeah, like I've never really had a chance to talk to another like another another big well not I'm not big but like a big person who's like really up there with and really out there with stuff like with Fallout stuff and otherwise.
Mm.
Yeah, this has been fun for me. I don't know about you, but this has been fun for
No, it
me.
was fun for me too.
Yeah. Yeah, you okay with me as well you okay with me just having an unedited version of this put up somewhere else?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, other than that, this is C Porter with Bigslman. Bigslman. I yeah. I think that'll do it.
Bye.